Hi, my name's Adam. I live in Richmond, Virginia, where I work as an IT professional. In my free time, I enjoy studying theology and history, playing the piano, which you can see behind me, and volunteering at my church and other nonprofits in my area. So I started trading in 2012, not long after I started my first full-time job after college. My main inspiration for doing so was actually one of my heroes, Dr. Robert B. Pamplin, Jr., who is a philanthropist living in Portland, Oregon, with family roots here in the Virginia area. Dr. Pamplin was the benefactor of the Civil War Park, where I worked at the time as a park historian, and he's famous actually for turning a small inheritance into his first $1 million while he was a student at Virginia Tech during the 1960s. And so I figured if Dr. Pamplin could learn how to do it, I wanted to give it a shot as well. Initially, I focused exclusively on small cap stocks, but I quickly transitioned to selling options credit spreads, which worked much better for me. And as I continued to grow my account, I began trading Forex sometime during 2015, and then eventually moved to futures in 2019. I do still actively trade options, Forex, and futures today, not as much on the stock side. My day trading, though, is exclusively now focused on a futures strategy, which actually is the same strategy that I use in my funded account with Helios Trading Partners. So my trading strategy is centered around a custom indicator, which I developed late in 2019. The indicator analyzes price action to reveal strong trends in the market by leveraging 6 other indicators. And those indicators are the super trend indicator, an exponential moving average crossover, the Arun indicator, the Arun oscillator, and the directional movement index, as well as the Laguerre RSI. When a majority of these underlying indicators show a trend in one direction or another, my indicator issues an alert and also helps me to identify my profit targets and to manage my stop losses with a high probability of success. Currently that is around 60% probability of profit on each trade. My best intraday futures trade was on March the 26th, 2020, when I took a long signal from my custom indicator on the micro NASDAQ futures. And that was right after, I remember it was right after the 9:54 a.m. bar closed on the 3-minute chart. The market was, of course, moving rapidly during this time due to high volatility as a consequence of the COVID-19 pandemic. And the massive upward movement that the market enjoyed on this particular day netted me my largest profit since I started trading futures intraday using this strategy. I executed my strategy to a T and meticulously followed my trading rules, and that ultimately paid off well. So I would very, very strongly recommend the Earn to Trade experience. My experience was with the Gauntlet program versus the Gauntlet Mini, but I thoroughly enjoyed that experience. I found the rules to be clearly articulated. I found the user interface, the dashboard, very easy to use to track my progress throughout the evaluation process. And the opportunity to select from multiple trading platforms to execute the strategy that you're looking to implement for your evaluation is also an excellent feature. So I would strongly recommend this program to anyone who's developed a good trading strategy and is interested in accessing funded capital in order to implement that strategy. My biggest advice would be not to start trading the Gauntlet while you're still learning to trade. The Gauntlet for me was an opportunity to prove that the strategy I'd already developed, back-tested, and mastered in a separate simulation account was a successful one. If someone is still learning about good money management and working on developing a consistent strategy and trading rules, they should continue to focus on developing those skills and start the gauntlet once they have mastered those things. Consistency is key to success in the gauntlet as well as in live trading.